Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome in to Go Live Together. We are your morning team, and yes, Scott is not on location. He's home based, at least for today. So we got that to say yay about. I know that he has been on a long excursion with a whole rocking ship and everything, and now you're looking a little stable in your chair.
Yep.
That it won't make me feel like I'm on a cruise.
Here,
So
I'll simulate it.
oh
okay?
no. We don't need all of that right there. But Eddie, tell us about the weather where you are.
Well, right now it is 39 degrees, very sunny. It's been raining the last 2 days, so hopefully we'll stay sunny today. So we'll dry, at least the driveway. We'll get some drying weather today. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one. Scott?
It is pouring down rain.
Yeah.
46 degrees, really windy.
Oh. And I heard the snow was blowing in after the rain. So like the entire center part of the country is completely dry, and then you got rains over here and rains over here, but you guys are going to get the snow afterward.
Yeah, so probably not. We're not going to get snow here. We're going to get a mix.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll probably be more like sleet and freezing rain.
And slush.
Yeah.
Love that slush. You know, when I was stationed in Virginia, we had the slush, but then it turned into like a hard packed snow. So I built a snowman. I used to have a spoiler on the back of my car, you know, one of those short ones that come with the car. But I took that opportunity to build a snowman on my trunk. Well, then I had to go somewhere like to work on the Navy base. So I drove with that snowman on my trunk for like 2 days. It got that cold up there, and I was surprised.
Yeah.
It stayed there until it finally slid off. So that was the first time me seeing that. You know, I'm from down south where we don't get to build snowmen. So that was an experience that I truly enjoyed.
They get very little snow down there.
Yeah.
So.
Same thing over here. You know, we celebrate the fact that it's snowing. We actually run outside, you know, and just catch it in our hands and stuff. It's a big thing here when it snows. It makes the news. But yes, welcome into the Monday morning version of our shenanigans. Our co-hostess is not here today. She's not feeling too well. So y'all keep her in your prayers, and let's hope that she feels better for tomorrow's show. But in the meantime and in between the time, welcome into Go Live Together, especially the replay. If you are here for the replay, please type in the word #replay. That way we know that you were here. But for those of you that are here right now, good morning and welcome in. Cruising on the High Seas and Travel was the first
morning
chat. And he says, today's question of the day is, do you like to cruise on themed cruises? Let us know in the chat. And the themed cruise that I would love to go on is the 311 cruise heading out of Long Beach. I know they always cruise Princess, so that would be a new, a new experience for me. Another one that I would consider is the Motown themed cruise. I know that would be a big nonstop party. So yeah, those are the two themed cruises I would like to go on. What about you, Eddie?
MSC would do good for me. You know, I would really like to do MSC, especially from Brooklyn, of course.
Right.
I get to go back and check out the city again and hang around and go see friends and some of the family that we still have there. So that will be the shot for me.
Cool. Scott?
80s.
80s theme cruise?
Like not just an 80s night, the entire cruise.
Well, yeah, or definitely.
The entire cruise.
Oh man, yeah.
Finish. Nothing but just nonstop 80s.
Would you take another bag with all of the wigs and stuff?
I would go all out with that.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah.
I don't usually like,
especially dressed up like Miami Vice.
Yeah, I don't usually do the things like the white night and all that kind of stuff. I don't do any of that. But if it was like a complete 80s nonstop.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, that's cool. I know that would be super fun.
Yeah, good choice. Yes.
Next up in the chat is Traveling with Tinkerbell. Good morning. And she's wishing everybody a great day, happy Monday, and came in with a donation of fresh fruit and toast for us this morning. Thank you. Next up in the chat was Eddie Lugo Studios.
Viva la raza!
Next up in the chat is Mike and Rihanna's Adventures. Good morning.
Allied reinforcements have arrived from the north.
That's right. And wishing everybody a fantastic Monday as we are inching closer and closer to Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a donation of a Christmas tree in the chat. That's what's up.
Yep.
Yeah, and I hope everyone along the East Coast is staying safe from the high winds, heavy rain, storm surge, flash flooding that is happening right now. And yes, I know I saw it on the big news this morning. The Today Show actually had featured that. Next up in the chat is Cruise Nuts. Good morning.
Good morning.
We got another donation of fresh fruit from our good friend Scott McNeil is in the chat. Good morning.
Hi.
Next is Welcome the TNT Family Show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome in. Next up in the chat is Tamika Davis.
Good morning.
Journeys with June and Brady have made it in.
What's up?
And they're still fighting COVID.
Oh,
Ooh. Yeah, that's terrible. Next up in the chat is House of X Entertainment, Inc.
Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party.
And you know the party don't start until they show up. Good morning, fellas. Thank you for getting the party started. First thing, Kathy Mills, good morning.
Good morning.
And Gucci made it back. Hello, good morning.
What's up?
Globies Travels has made it in. Good morning. Yeah, and thank you for those Christmas trees. We really appreciate that. We got our Christmas tree up back here.
I'm not putting one up this year.
Yeah?
No, I normally put it up. It's normally like right back here off a frame in a corner back there, but I ain't putting it up this year.
You might put one up on the TV set.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, the little graphics that you always put over the TV? That would be cool.
Yeah,
Does he? Oh, here we go. Yes, Go Live Together is wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I love it. I love that. The Z Show Cruise Fund says, good morning, content creators. Breaking news, 6 more days until I will be on the greatest cruise of all time, the Carnival Jubilee, December 23rd at the greatest state in our nation's history, the Lone Star State of
Texas.
That's right, baby.
6 more days.
The mother and daughter duo have made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
See, Cheryl, the reason why you're not feeling good today is all that army crawling that you were doing down at the port the other day.
It checks out. Captain Billy J. Travels has made it in. Good morning.
Cappy.
Fence scaling.
Yeah, well, just driving by because you can't even get into that place. It's so many contractor trucks and cars. And
That's what I was talking about. Scaling the fence, army crawling under all the obstacles to get up to the top. Right? I saw it all in my mind, and I thought, denied.
And from these emojis right here, hang on, let me put these up big. That way
Get out of here.
It looks like some heat going on.
Not even.
Surprise. Heat surprise.
Not even. She's
Good
like,
morning.
where she's at right now, it's like 50 degrees.
That's
Yep.
hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
Yeah, I hope you feel better soon, baby. Hey, babe, if you're in the chat, good morning. Gamer cruise. Okay, well, yeah, that would be a good themed cruise too. A bunch of gamers get together and have a gaming cruise, but then the internet, the ship internet would definitely have to be way more robust for that. And let's see, Captain Billy J says, for theme cruises, I would go on the Chris Jericho's Rock and Roll Wrestling Rager at Sea Cruise pro wrestling matches on the ship. Not only am I a captain, but a pro wrestling referee.
Oh my God.
That'll work. Controversial Cruising has made it in. Good morning.
What's up?
Backlash Fisherman has made it in.
Buddy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yo.
Oh, snap. There is a subscriber update here. Mike and Rana would like to thank everyone for their support as they hit 3K subscribers over the weekend.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yep, here she is. The sick one. Cruising is fun anytime. Good morning.
I know, I'm telling you, like all of that army crawling and fence scaling, and of course, the Grand Turk walking, takes it out of you, right?
It does.
It wipes you out.
It does.
And I'm going back to the question. I kind of you caught me off guard when you said theme. I couldn't think of what theme meant.
Right.
That's why I say MSC. I say, wait a minute, why am I saying MSC? Talking about theme cruises. I know there's gonna be a rock and roll cruise eventually in 2025 soon, and that's one theme cruise that I don't want to miss.
On the Icon, yeah.
Or whatever ship it is. Yes.
Cruising with Keith has made it in. Good morning.
What's up?
What up, Keith? Yo.
We got some feedback on Scott's comment here.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Captain Billy J says 20 more days until MSC Seashore. I just found out this morning that I was upgraded from an ocean view cabin to a balcony cabin for free on my free cruise.
Yeah. Hampton, I don't know. If I was there.
I was on like a 3-day on Seaside, and I got upgraded to a balcony too. So.
Oh, you I could believe, but him? I don't know. Cappy, yeah.
Bamanola Adventures has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
Together We Travel has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, no. Billy says both of my kids woke up sick this morning.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, you got to have a strong constitution out here these days.
Yep.
I'm a little.
Just real quick. So I read this article. I don't think that I necessarily agree with it, but I'm not a doctor, so maybe you can't argue against the doctors. But a doctor was quoted in an article that said that the reason why, because the headline was basically dealing with the continuous perpetual sickness, right? And then like it started off by saying that, as this person does this or that or whatever, they hear this constant background chorus of coughs and sneezes and all this other kind of stuff, right? And they're like, why? And the quick answer was everybody took such precaution during the pandemic. And there was so much, mask wearing and this and that and everything else that our bodies did not have the opportunity to experience and therefore build immunity to whatever the newest variations were of the seasonal illnesses that we've been dealing with long before COVID, right? Because those change every year and stuff too. And that's why. So now everybody's immune system is kind of playing catch up. I don't know. Okay. Maybe. I mean, but again, I'm not a doctor, so who am I to argue? Right?
Yeah, I haven't even stepped foot near a medical school, so I'm not going to even begin to touch that one.
Yeah.
JC has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
I mean, the only thing I would add to that is because I'm an immune compromised individual, I have studied immune system because that's the kind of person I am. I want to know about stuff. So I've studied immune systems and stuff like that and how they work. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep. Okay. Backlash Fisherman says my 6-year-old has fluid on her ears, but no infections. Oof, poor baby. And there's some accidental button pushing by the sick one in here. Yeah. You might want to put your phone a little bit further out of reach. Okay. Well,
we're
we are all caught up in the chat, which means that it is now time for me to tell you this right here. We have a visitor in town today, and it is none other than the Carnival Breeze. We get to see her a lot. You know, I saw her coming in this morning on our local weather. Okay, and she was off in the distance beyond the, you know, the Ferris wheel and everything. I'm like, I wonder what ship that is. So I get here and setting up for the show at 7:30 or at 7:40 when Eddie got on screen, she was still mooring. So she came in late this morning, and I was like, well, maybe Royal's here. I flipped cameras to the Royal side. There's no Royal ship. So wherever they left from, it must have been really rough.
Yeah.
You know, for them to be coming in late like this, because they're just now unloading, and it's yeah, they're gonna be late today.
Look, here's my Carnival. Here's my Carnival Breeze card.
Wait,
Carnival Breeze.
yes, the Breeze. I love it.
And I haven't been a gold card on Carnival in a long time, so
Yep.
this is a relic.
That's a relic. Let us know in the comments section. That is a good question that always floats around in chats. And I would like to know what our audience thinks. Do you save your sail and sign cards or your, you know, the key cards from your cruises? And if so, you know, how many you got? That would be a really good question. How many cruises has the audience been on? We would love to know. To let us know in the live.
I have a buffet of cards here just on my desk, but I have other ones all around and everything else. But this one is by far the most unique one. This one is Margaritaville at sea.
Hey, that's
There's
the white
nothing
card.
to this one here, boy. Just a white card with nothing else on it. So
Well, that'll work.
I think to myself, they could at least put Margaritaville on there, right?
Yeah, you're on some ship somewhere.
Yep.
That's what it is. It looks like an excursion pass.
I know, it's crazy, but and it says the only thing else it says on it is it has the date, and then it says Paradise Wi-Fi, but you know, I mean, because I was on the Margaritaville Paradise, but you know, so yeah, but like that's the craziest thing. And another quick story about that, I flew home and I just somehow by chance I sat next to on the plane somebody who had been on the same ship. And they were talking to this other person next to them about having been on that ship while we were getting ready to get off the plane, like when we got to our destination, and I think it was Baltimore. Anyway, so and I just happened to have this in my pocket because I always have this in my pocket when I get home, and I said he was talking to her about it or whatever, and I pulled this out and I said, "Is this yours?" And he looked at it for a moment and he was like, "Oh my God." He was like, "Did I lose that or whatever?" And I started laughing. I was like, "No, this is mine. I was on there with you."
Yep.
So funny. I don't know.
Well, that's cool.
So.
There is a comment here. Cher will be listening and shopping on Temu.
Oh my God. Yep.
I think that might be facts right there.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay. Well, here we go. Today's weather in Galveston is we are waking up to 51 degrees Fahrenheit with 87% humidity and completely clear. It is sunny out there, y'all. If you are sailing away on the Breeze, your sail away forecast is as follows. It is 65 degrees out. It's going to be 65 degrees today with 56% humidity and full sun. So your sail away party is going to be off the chain.
Living the life.
Yes, that's right.
Palm trees and Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you like that, right? Captain Billy J says, I have all of my cruise cards all over my place, but not all gathered together. You know,
Yeah.
I filled up a whole lanyard with our cards and then started a second lanyard, but then never went back to it. We've been on 3 or 4 cruises ever since then. And now, yeah, they're on individual lanyards waiting.
But same thing for me. I got like a couple laying on the card here, some in my backpack, in a drawer, some on the dresser upstairs. They're all over the place.
Yep.
But I definitely have them. So.
And cruising is fun anytime. There's a funny story about this too, is when Elijah, our 8-year-old son, was signed up for the VIFP program, he signed up under Cruising is Fun Anytime. And because she was gold at the time, they gave him a gold card for his first cruise. But then they fixed it. Now he's a red. He's really upset about that.
Hey.
He thought he was going to keep his status. Yep. Bamanola says, save them. I have 10 Carnival sale and sign cards. So that'll work. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, this is facts right here. She's looking for a package to come in right now. So that'll work.
I pick on her about doing Timo and all that crap, but that's why I was caught off guard earlier when you made that comment to me. I was in Timo too.
Yep.
So you went, how about you, Eddie? I went like, oh crap.
Right.
I have not shopped with Temu in a long time. I'm kind of over Temu.
Yeah.
Kind of over it.
I
I would shop there if I needed something, but I don't. Yeah.
Oh, that'll work. JC says, life's busy, but excited for the holidays. Looking forward to disconnecting for a few days. I know that.
Into that, yeah.
Yes. I love it. And there's a suggestion for you, Scott. Scott should do stand up.
I don't know about that. I probably think I'm funnier than I am. So
yeah, and on this Temu thing, cruising is funny anytime may be the Temu queen, but who got her started? We got to remember. It was Eddie Lugo Studios.
Yeah, yep. Those infamous afternoon Temu unbagging.
That's right. Traveling with Tinkerbell says, I have not shopped on Temu for months. LOL. Okay. Yeah. Cruise Nut says 90% Amazon every day. LOL.
Amazon is a lot higher.
Yeah.
The same stuff and a lot higher.
Oh, snap. Captain Billy J came through with, I just placed a Temu order the other day. Cheryl would be proud of me. Hey, that's right. That's nice. Right. She is.
That's nice.
She is. Yep. Okay, we are all caught up in the chat again, which means that it is now time for Jeremy to try to read on this day in history. Today is Monday, December 18th, and in 1737, on this day in history, famed Italian violin maker Antonio Stradivari died in Cremona. Yeah, I know. In 1787, New Jersey became the third state admitted to the United States when it ratified the U.S. Constitution.
Wow.
In 1886, American baseball player Ty Cobb, an excellent hitter and base runner, was born in Narrows, Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah, Ty Cobb.
Wow.
In 1892, Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky's ballad, The Nutcracker, was first presented at the Mariinsky Theater in St. Petersburg,
Russia.
Yes. In 1912, the discovery of fossil remains of Piltdown Man, an extinct human species, was announced at a meeting of the Geological Society of London, but the remains were later proved to be a fraud. In 1913, Willy Brandt, leader of the Social Democratic Party of Germany from 1964 to 1987, Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany from 1969 to 1974, and recipient of the Nobel Prize for Peace in 1971, was born.
That's good.
In 1917, German General Erich Ludendorff ordered the consolidation of the country's leading motion picture studios to form UFA. And naturally, I cannot read those German words. So, yes, bananas.
Bananas.
In 1943, British guitarist Keith Richards of the rock band The Rolling Stones was born.
No, that guy was born back in the DC.
In BC?
Christ.
Okay.
BC, yeah. It's been around for a while.
In 1946, American film director Steven Spielberg, who enjoyed great critical and commercial success with such movies as Jaws, E.T., Schindler's List, and Saving Private Ryan, was born. In 1963, American actor Brad Pitt, known for his portrayal of unconventional characters, was born.
Ready.
In 1966, the TV special How the Grinch Stole Christmas, an adaptation of Dr. Seuss's classic children's book, aired for the first time and became a holiday staple. In 1997, Kim Dae-jung was elected president of South Korea, the first opposition leader in that country's history to win that position. In 2011, Czech playwright, poet, and political dissident Václav Havel, who served as president of Czechoslovakia and of the Czech Republic and had been a prominent participant in the liberal reforms of 1968, the Prague Spring, died in Hradec, Czech Republic. And finally, on this day in 1865, by proclamation of the U.S. Secretary of State, the 13th Amendment to the Constitution outlawing slavery officially entered into force, having been ratified by the requisite states on December 6th. And that will do it for this episode of Jeremy Goes Bananas. Okay, wait a minute. There's some chatter going on about fruit bowls and bananas here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, okay. Mike and Rihanna says Keith Richards will never die, just like Willie Nelson, who just turned 90.
Yep.
Keith Richards is forever.
They eat a lot of bananas.
Right. Oh, okay. Here's an update from Cruising is Fun Anytime.
Come on.
Too weak to scream banana. That's all
I
right.
heard you already stay from the room, so.
Yeah, Scott got your back with the button. I knew it was going to be a terrible one today, but I think it was okay. I really
you did all right. You did good.
Bananas.
That's right.
There we go. Okay. And it is Scott's turn now to come and bring us the cruise and travel industry news.
Good morning, Cruise News with Scott.
So I want to, there was all kinds of stories today, and rather just run through them all, I have a quick little kind of collage of headlines that I put together so that people could see that there was just so many stories out here that were related to this big, huge East Coast storm causing all kinds of cruise ship impacts, delays for ships returning from itineraries, delays going places and inability to go places. I was, as most of you would know, I was just on Anthem of the Seas. We were not able to do our private island stop because of the winds and everything else. So, lots of stuff being affected. There was never a moment from the time Anthem left Cape Liberty in New Jersey till the time we got back where the ship was not just constantly listing from one side to the other. It was horrible. Now, isn't itself, I've been on much rougher seas, but definitely not as long and as consistent as they were on that. So picking my favorite shock and awe of all of those headlines is weather forces MSC cruise ship to avoid planned port visits. And this one is pretty terrible in my book. MSC Meraviglia, which originally was destined for a balmy beach and warm waters cruise, has been rerouted to the cooler climates of New England and Canada. It's like, oh my God. The proactive measure comes as a response to forecasts predicting heavy rains and wind gusts up to 40 knots on the original itinerary. An email to passengers from MSC stated, to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone on board, we will sail to New England and Canada instead, where we expect to encounter fairer weather conditions and will allow us to offer you pleasant cruise experience that you expect. Not if you got only packed for shorts and t-shirts and you're going to Canada, but okay. The 5,400 passenger seven-night voyage was initially set for Port Canaveral, Nassau, in the Bahamas, as well as MSC's private island, Ocean Cay. The revised journey will leave from Brooklyn, New York, as planned, but will now stop in Boston, where it will be docked for 2 nights. And it will then continue to Portland, Maine, as well as St. John, New Brunswick, Canada, before circling back to New York, including a day at sea to align with the new destinations. MSC Cruises has updated its onboard activities. The cancellation comes on the heels of an earlier itinerary adjustment for MSC Meraviglia on December 13th, prompted by inclement weather. Instead of visiting Ocean Cay, the ship made a unscheduled detour in Miami that required all passengers to disembark and undergo customs processing. Ooh, bet that was fun. Guests expressed their frustration as every passenger was mandated to go through customs and border protection checks before they were permitted to reboard the vessel. I had a very similar experience on a different cruise. Unfortunately, all we had to do is go down to the main theater and walk down through. They brought CBP on board, but everybody did have to get up and go down. So passengers seeking to maintain their original Bahamas travel plans had limited time to reschedule their cruise without any penalty before the cruise departure date, as well as little reprieve for those who had already traveled to New York ahead of the departure. Those opting to cancel their cruise were offered a full refund in the form of an FCC, and guests wishing a refund to the original payment needed to contact MSC directly. So while MSC ensured full refunds to passengers on board's accounts for pre-booked excursions that were set for the original destinations, the offering contrast was more generous compensation packages from other cruise lines for their cancellations. For example, Royal Caribbean recently offered monetary compensation for travel changes and onboard credits for a cancellation due to a private charter. This is not MSC's first itinerary cancellation, leading to an entirely different destination. There was a 14-night round-trip voyage from Southampton to Norway, Iceland, and Ireland that was also canceled, and instead guests were presented an alternative route to the Canary Islands, Spain, and Portugal. MSC has also offered prorated refunds for the 2 missing nights on the sailing. So very interesting. And I mean, I just can't imagine showing up, packed for a warm weather destination and then being told, oh, you're going to a cold weather destination now. Or, I mean, I guess the alternative was that they could go back home, but what a nightmare. But it's weather related. So you kind of can't blame the cruise line. So moving on, Carnival Cruise Line, its New Year's Eve menu has been released. So Carnival Cruise Lines outdoes itself with special main dining room holiday menus for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve to bid farewell to 2023 and to welcome 2024. The cruise line is offering an amazing selection of mouth-watering dishes for starters, entrees, and desserts across the entire Carnival fleet. A special New Year's Eve selection with tantalizing appetizers of crab and pickled mushrooms with a fennel salad, followed by a selection of entrees, bourbon glazed ham with pear chutney and spiced pomegranate, Parmesan crusted chicken with black-eyed beans, sauteed green beans, and shallot herbed beurre blanc, and a cauliflower steak, and fritters with beluga lentil ragout with feta cheese. So I have the menu here. I'm going to put it up. Hopefully everybody will get a chance to look at it here.
Bananas.
Special celebration cake with a pecan brownie, crispy peanut butter, and white chocolate mousse is offered for dessert. I'll put that menu up there again in case anybody wants to stare at it some more. Guests also have other delicious options on the menu as well for appetizers. A duck confit tart with spinach fondue and dark cherry sauce, or spiced pork poppers with Granny Smith apple relish are just a few of the options. So it says here, entrees are equally appetizing with pan-seared sea bass paired with roasted garlic mashed potatoes and asparagus. Guests can also order the classic steakhouse selections for an extra fee, including the surf and turf with the lobster tail. If the celebration cake dessert doesn't sound quite worth celebrating, other dessert options include the classic carnival chocolate melting cake. So it's important to note that the New Year's Eve gala dinner menu is significantly different than both the Thanksgiving and Christmas menus that were offered fleet-wide. While the Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners can be remarkably similar, those holidays are a month apart, and few guests are actually cruising for both holidays. So here, casual dining always available. And of course, guests can also opt for specialty dining restaurants on board or have more casual meals at the Lido Marketplace Buffet. So,
and that's the way the news goes.
Yeah, that's pretty much how the holiday menu was for us on the Dream. You know, we took 2 bites of that sucker and went up to the marketplace. We had to the buffet for that one. That was crazy. There is an update on the Timbits here. Cruising on the High Season Travel has made it back in. Welcome. And it says no Timbits for Scott. Scott gets no Timbits.
Well, you know what? That's okay, because my good friend Rob from Cruise Brothers, you know, I could ask him to bring me Timbits, because he's a much nicer guy. He's much nicer. Much more friendlier, easy, laid back, you know.
That's facts. Yep. And cruising on, it's funny, anytime it's ham, yummy. Yeah, that would be great. I love carnival ham. I love it. They throw it on the grill. And let's see, Marjorie has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
And okay, so this is going to be a messy segue into Scott's question of the day, which is as follows. Is it time for a cruise line passenger bill of rights?
Right. So I want to preface this. Okay. So we have an existing passenger bill of rights for airlines that is very specific and very generous. So some of you may remember that there was some headlines a little while back where 2 Delta passengers were actually compensated up to $15,000 for their missed flight. And that's based on very specific language that is rarely enforced due to the fact that the airlines are charged with kind of self-enforcement of it, although and many passengers are unaware of what those exact rights are. And in recent years, there's been websites and other types of attention drawn to it to try to educate the public. And of course, you know, the airlines aren't likely to just immediately roll over for, you know, specific demands and stuff by passengers, but standing your ground can result in you getting, you know, a much better compensation package for that inconvenience based on the language in that Bill of Rights. So, you know, I really feel like in my opinion, now, of course, the cruise lines have done, their diligence in, creating a zero liability option or environment for themselves. But every last one of them has their corporate headquarters on American soil, typically in Miami. They, the 90% of their business is American passenger or U.S. passengers from U.S. ports. And I really feel like the time has come now for our government to step in and create, a similar Bill of Rights for cruise passengers. Not because I feel like the cruise lines need to be punished or anything like that, or that, but I feel like there's a reason why this entire industry has created a zero liability environment for themselves, and it's due to not only their lack of belief that they should be liable for things, but also to support and protect obscene profit margins. And again, I'm not opposed to companies making as much money as they can, as long as in situations where they have clear fault or clear clear liability, that they should have to step in and do that, and they're not going to. So I really feel like if our government felt like it was important enough to create this Bill of Rights for airlines, that it really should expand and extend that to the cruise lines. All the language and everything is already in place. They could easily tweak and adapt the existing airline Bill of Rights for cruise lines. And I really feel like the time is long overdue.
Yep. Eddie? Muted.
Yep. No, definitely, yeah. Sometimes cruise lines get away with some stuff that they should not be doing, like out of the blue, make a difference on their trip. Instead of going south, they decide to go north, and they wait till the last minute. Somehow, something has to be done. And because I'd be pretty upset if I was to show up at the ship expecting to go to the Bahamas or Puerto Rico, and then they tell me, "Oh, we're going to Canada."
Yep.
There'd be some hell to pay. So, yes, definitely, there has to be some kind of regulation going on. When they make a mistake, they need to be, take up the lack of whatever they're doing and take care of business. So, and they need somebody to reinforce it. You want to take business from here, you better, adhere to the rules too. So,
Yep.
It's not just one way and that's it. Go,
Right.
Put your ship, Panama, whatever. No, you better register your ship in here too.
Yep.
Amen.
And I know that during the days of COVID, during the thick days of COVID, we found out that there was an organization called CLIA. Okay, Cruise Line Industry Association is what it stands for, I believe. And they have some rules set forth that the cruise lines have to follow, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's for us or for our benefit as passengers. It's mainly more protections, for the cruise lines. And I do agree, that a Bill of Rights does need to be written, but also enforced as well. It needs to be enforced if they truly care about ongoing business, especially from repeat clients, because that's what we go for. We go for repeat business. Whenever you are a true business, is you're looking for the same people to come back and get the same experience. I know that sometimes getting the same experience can be unavoidable due to the weather. Okay, that's the one thing that we cannot control. Yep. But anything aside from that, or aside from uncontrollable things that are controllable, okay, and avoidable, there should be a Bill of Rights surrounding those instances there. So yeah, good question. Man, that is awesome. And cruising is fun anytime. Agrees. Yes. They need a cruise line bill of rights. And
now I am a member of CLIA,
Mhm.
and CLIA is basically just the lobby. They're basically the industry lobby firm. So Cruise Line International. They're based in Washington D.C. That's where CLIA is located. So again, lobbying, the government for things or whatever. And it isn't a good organization. I mean, and I, I renew my membership to them every year, but at the same time, I just feel like I just don't know why I just don't know why we've allowed that kind of stuff to happen. Right. And, and one of the other things I'm a little upset about too is if you remember back during the pandemic, when all of these businesses were suddenly given all of these, massive loans and grants and forgiveness and all this other kind of stuff, right? There was this like 11th hour, repeal that cut the cruise lines out of being able to get those loans. And the cruise lines were all poised, and you should have seen them. They were all lined up, salivating, ready to just jump in and get billions and billions of tax money.
Yep.
That they had never paid a nickel for in corporate taxes, right? And they were ready to jump in and get it. And there, like I said, there was an 11th hour repeal where they actually cut the cruise lines out and then left every other industry in. And the cruise lines were a little upset about it. And I was like, I don't understand why. I mean, like that was classic greed right there. They were ready, even though they avoid paying taxes, they avoid being U.S. entities. They have 17 shell companies, all, in the Bahamas and Panama and everything else. But yet they were going to just step in and take billions of dollars in forgivable loans and not lose a second of sleep over it.
Yep.
I'm just saying, when that is the industry, when that's how the industry is, I'm not trying to be anti-cruising. What I'm saying is when the industry is that despicably unpolicing, you have no option but to require something such as, a passenger bill of rights or some other doctrine in which to hold their feet to the flame on,
Yep.
So.
And switching gears, Cruise Nuts has a programming update. How many of you guys are going to watch my live this Saturday from the Jubilee cruise ship?
I'll at the very least, you can expect me to watch the replay, but if I'm available, I will definitely be there.
Right.
Same with me.
I'm hoping to be there as it sails away on Saturday. I'm not sure. I may do a camera jump here at the house if I can't make it down there, and we can look forward to at least some webcam stuff going on Saturday afternoon. So I know my parents are going to be on that ship, so we'll either go down there with them, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I know Z's going to be on there. He might be going live. There's going to be a lot of lives this weekend, so look forward to that. Ocean Travel has made it in. Good morning, driving.
Morning.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to say too is part of my ritual yesterday when I returned home from Anthem was to go through the mail. And when I went through the mail, I had lots of things in there. I was very excited about getting my replacement American Express card because once again, somebody in the Bahamas stole my number. But the most exciting thing that I received in the mail while I was gone was this.
Hey.
Oh.
I was so excited. And when my wife came home from her mom's house, I was like, look what we got. Look. So excited.
That'll work.
So, yeah, I'm going to find some way to like permanently put it up here somewhere.
That'll work. Hey, Scrow's Nest has made it in. He says, preach it, Scott.
Randy.
Yes. Bamanola says, if I was going to Canada and we went to the Bahamas, I could handle that better than supposed to be going to the Bahamas. Instead, we went to Canada. I don't know because if you dress for Canada, then that means that you're going to be extra hot in the Bahamas too. I mean, it's flip flop. So I don't know.
Yep.
Cruising was fun. Anytime says you're so right, Scott. They received 0, and I thought that they should not have gotten any money.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. At the last minute, they were cut out of it, but they were about ready to do it, and I was just like, I can't believe it, because lots of corporations get out of paying, kind of fair share taxes, but they at least pay some federal taxes. Cruise lines don't pay any.
Mm-hmm. And also, she said our granddaughter will be on the Jubilee on her first cruise ever.
Nice.
Yes. I know she's going to have a great time because she is on the ship with a couple of platinum members, and I know they're going to show her a good time. So that's absolutely cool. And speaking of cruises, Eddie, I know you got a cruise coming up that you wanted to tell the viewers all about. Let's hear it.
Yes, October 28, 2024, leaving out of Tampa, Florida. On the Carnival Paradise on a 6-day cruise. Leaving from Tampa, we're going to go down to Key West, Montego Bay, and Grand Cayman. Please get in touch with Bruce at Ocean to Ocean Travel to get your cabin and get your deposit going. You have to pay off this cruise by July. So the sooner you get into this, the better. Even though it's 7 months away, but still, the sooner you get your booking done, the better. There's not that many balconies left that I know of, and rooms are going. So get in touch with Bruce and get your cabin going. So hope to see you there and listen to this video.
Booze Cruise 2024. Hosted by Eddie Lugo Studios, out of Tampa, Florida. Port of calls, Key West, Florida. Grand Cayman Island. Montego Bay, Jamaica. Aboard the Carnival Paradise. Join us for this great cruise, October 28th to November 3rd, 2024. Contact Bruce at oceantooceantravel.com.
Yeah, man.
Good morning. The Bud Files have made it in. Hello.
Morning.
Welcome in.
Buongiorno.
Yep. Okay, and also we got some people coming on for the remainder of the day on YouTube as well. I think we got a short list for everybody today.
Yes, sir. And it will be as follows. CME was in this morning due to some Wi-Fi things that we're having, but they'll be back tomorrow. So 8 o'clock in the morning, you get to see CME traveling tomorrow morning. Today at 11 o'clock in the morning, following us will be A Moment in the World with Darian, followed by Miracle and Mayhem at noon Eastern. Follow that with Roy and Becky's Travels at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I believe the Vault Files will have a premiere today at 5. I believe Bill might have something going on also around 5 o'clock today. j&S Adventures. 7 p.m. tonight will be Rebecca Touched by Yarn. I believe that Half Luggage Will Travel will be back tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. And closing the night will be, at 7 also, Chris Nelson have a premiere, 7 p.m. Eastern. And closing the night will be Vineyard Chicks Homestead at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight.
Well, that'll work. Also, we got Chili's Cruises has something about the Carnival Panorama upcoming, and all of these are central time zones because that's what I'm able to see.
11 Eastern.
Yeah, 10 a.m. And then StreamYard is going live at 10 also. Welcome to the TNT Family Show. Who is in the chat today is going live at 10:30 a.m. If you want to go for a walk.
Cool.
Yeah. There is Marlene Motivates at 2:30 p.m. African Dreamin' at 4:05 p.m. Odom's Homestead at 5 p.m. Rayleigh Creative Travel at 6 p.m. Elisa's Adventures in Cruising at 6 p.m. House of X Entertainment Inc. Day in the Life of at 7 p.m. Shanster Travel has a premiere on Roman Forums at 7:15 p.m. Yeah, that Rome stuff is coming out. And Come Hither with Heather is going live at 3 a.m. So there is a full lineup for the remainder of the day on YouTube. We hope you can catch one of these shows. And yes, at the top of the hour, Z Show Cruise Fund is coming on as well. So be sure to make your way over there. Other than that, what is everybody's plans for the remainder of the day? I know you're hunkering down, right, Scott?
Yeah, and I have just all kinds of normal catch-up stuff and, everything else. And unfortunately, while I was away, my son was victim to some evil human being who just decided to slash his tires.
Yeah.
My son has no enemies and is just a really great, person, a decent public servant. And he unfortunately had to deal with that while I was gone. And so I will be taking him to pick his car up with his new tires on it. And, otherwise just settling back into 3 weeks of, exile here in the Northeast before my son and I head to Orlando for a week of Disney World and Universal Studios.
So, I know that's going to be fun.
Yep.
Eddie, you getting you some rest today?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got your butter toast ready and all that. You good?
Oh no, I'm going straight to bed. Right in.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
Right.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for coming by this morning. We really, really appreciate your ongoing support for the show. We really appreciate you, especially hashtag Team Replay. Always appreciate you guys coming back. I know that you guys are coming in also on the After Dark show as well on Fridays, watching the replays. I saw the numbers jump up this weekend, and that was really cool. We definitely thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Everybody take care of each other out there. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And never, ever forget, we love you and good morning.
Bye.